welcome to Full Time Movie Fans. We're definitely you're up close and personal with Jarvis and Mike the guy,
Grill
the man,
Master.
the one, the only.
Today. Grill Master today.
Grill Master, yeah. So obviously we're doing something a little bit different, getting up close and personal, not with just each other, but with y'all. Hopefully, talking about movies, friendship, and we're talking about. So I think did we? So our last episode, guys, we didn't really get to. The video didn't work out. So you may just get audio.
And now we're here.
Yes. And so we actually the whole space had bad juju, so we blew it up and now we're in a new space forever. No, I'm just kidding. But
we spent $15,000 to ensure that will never happen again.
Yes, because we care and love you guys so much. And this is so important to us. No, but so there's no video for that. But that's okay. I don't know if we talked about it last time, but the Oscars happened.
They did.
And I don't know. Do you remember if we talked about? We may have touched on it.
We touched on the before, but not the during or after. You know.
So if you guys watch the Oscars, you don't. Maybe you've seen on social media somewhere, a little ad somewhere, maybe on Reddit or whatever. The Oscars happened, and one of our favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, it's
Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean,
it
won
swept
so many stuff, and I think that I did talk to somebody, and I think there was some. I think they felt like Angela Bassett should have won.
Oh well.
Yeah.
What's it like to feel?
Supporting actress. And look, I get. I do think that like for that it was kind of more. She won. What's her name? I can't believe, dude. I always do this. Like whenever the cameras are on, I blank.
Don't worry, I got you. We're coming back.
Deirdre.
Everything. Oh, you're talking about?
Yeah.
You're talking about
name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. So she won, and a lot of people said
she should have
went to Angela Bassett. And I kind of agree. Like I think acting, Angela Bassett may have done a little bit better job, but for it's a matter. It's kind of a legacy award. Like she's done so much for movies,
yeah,
and stuff like that. That like with this performance as well, it doesn't make any It makes sense to me. I was like, of course, like she would win. So I got no problems with it. I got no issues with it. I'm glad that Everything Everywhere All at Once kind of swept. It was much deserved. One of the best movies I've ever seen ever. It's so unique, especially with how many movies there's been up to this point. I mean, how many movies have been made? How many like Oscars have there been? Like, it's crazy that new ideas are still out there, and that's something that this did. But
it won. It says it won 7 awards. Hold on, it won 7 Oscars. I remember Sybil was watching because I couldn't, and I was just refreshing my phone on Twitter to make sure that I had the updates as they were coming in. And she told me Brendan Fraser won Best Actor, and in my head I was like, "Well, that's one that Everything Everywhere didn't win, but hey, it was worth it." And she said, "No, they weren't even nominated. Remember?" And I went, "Oh, best case scenario then."
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he got a
he won,
actor.
which was the highest they could have gotten.
Yeah, I mean, everybody cried because that man he's too precious,
very sweet,
too precious, and of course Michelle Yeoh.
Mom, I won an Oscar.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Don't make me cry on this. But so this is very different. Although we are talking about an Academy Award winning movie today.
We are. We were supposed to watch The Room, and then I willfully forgot that the only way to watch it is to purchase the DVD, which I have and he does not.
Yeah.
So instead, we watched the next best thing, which is The Disaster Artist.
Yeah. Well. Tell us about. Give us a rundown on the actual movie itself, because I know there's some aspects and some scenes we could see, but what is The Room for those who don't? Because here's the thing: this is a movie that is not going to be on. If you're just a casual moviegoer, you've never heard about this movie.
No,
you will never know. Like this is not a movie you're going to come across.
It's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay. We definitely recommend that you see it because it's one of those what do you call it? It's a cult classic.
Cult classic.
Cult classic. You will not regret it.
It comes to specialty movie theaters like every couple of months, and they do funky little events, and Tommy Wiseau loves to go to them. And
oh man, what a guy!
I will meet the guy one day, and that will be the only time that I ever give him actual praise for anything, because outside of this piece of a movie, he is not a good person. But
oh,
like most of Hollywood, outside of their daily lives,
Yeah.
outside of the movies, their daily lives are bad. But yes, The Room, a movie that I have seen probably enough times so you don't have to. I think I'm in the 20s right now.
wow.
Yeah, I've watched it a lot. It's so
20 more times than I've seen it.
yeah, correct. So all of the knowledge for that movie will come from me.
Speaking of the number 20, that's kind of Leonardo DiCaprio's sweet spot for relationships.
Yeah, between 20 and 23.
Yeah, it's his sweet spot.
After that, you
So
kinda
if
gotta get lost.
as many times as you've seen this movie were years on a woman's age, you'd be riding DiCaprio's
I would not
sweet
actually.
spot.
I'm in the upper 20s.
I think his limit's 25. I think it's well documented. 25 is his cutoff. But anyways,
So The Room, 2001, 2002. It's one of those 2 years. Was a movie created by the one and only Tommy Wiseau. The Disaster Artist goes really well into the making of, so I won't do that because that's what I know the most about. But the movie itself is a self-titled black comedy about betrayal and distrust.
wait a minute. What's a black comedy? Because I'm thinking like
It is
Medea.
not what you're
I'm
thinking.
thinking about the Nutty Professor.
I think the correct term that Tommy was looking for was dark comedy.
Oh, okay.
Because black comedy is a very different thing.
I'm a big fan of black comedy.
I think
by the way.
he went, what's
Love it.
darker than dark?
Okay.
Black comedy. And because it's very akin to like a melodramatic soap opera. You know, one of those like, no, my wife, she's cheating on me, I'm gonna murder the man. You know, one of those kind of things.
We've all been there.
Tommy Wiseau wrote, directed, and produced the movie. I would say all on his own, but he somehow roped a bunch of people into it. The whole idea.
I know how.
Well, yeah, that's true. You watched The Disaster Artist, so it's very apparent that he wanted a real Hollywood movie, and that's what he aimed to make, without any of the knowledge of how to do that. So he wrote this piece, and I'll tell you some funny things as we get further into it, because
I love funny
that
things.
is not the first draft of that script that they actually made the movie into. There's actually the first draft I found online one day. And there's a little like one-off joke when he's writing, and I hope you remember it, where he was like, maybe Johnny's a vampire. We'll find out. He was a vampire. And
It's amazing.
and there's a scene in The Room that where everybody's on the rooftop and they're like, give me the fucking money, Denny. Give me the fucking money. And then Johnny's supposed to show up in his flying Cadillac. And that's where it's revealed he's a vampire.
I want to see that version. I want the
Oh
director's
my
cut.
god, it's so funny.
Bring us the Wiseau cut of that, please.
Anyways,
Come on,
Tommy
Twitter, do your
Wiseau.
thing.
Tommy Wiseau, he plays Johnny, an all-American guy, a banker, who is engaged to the love of his life, Lisa. And as their wedding date approaches, Lisa decides to be dishonest and disloyal, and sleep with his best friend Mark and manipulate him. And
Come on, Lisa.
it's a beautiful story, and beautiful in all the worst ways.
It's human emotions.
The best way to describe it is that if you could have, I can't even say like ChatGPT at this point, because ChatGPT would have made a better story. It's like if you had given an alien a very vague idea of how human emotion works and like how betrayal works, and they were like, I'm going to make the best betrayal movie ever. This woman cheats on her husband, on her fiance. That's it. That's the whole movie. And it's a lot of people say, and this happens a lot with lower tier art. No, I wouldn't say lower tier art. The correct way to make art is from what you know, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people say
I think that's what happened.
I do too.
Yeah.
I believe that this is a self-serving story that Tommy wrote about parts of his life, even though he will always deny it, and has and always will. You don't even know where the man's from. He says New Orleans.
Him lying about all those things and not revealing those things it's like taxes.
Yeah,
it's as real as taxes every year. So
yeah, so it is absolutely worth the watch. It's absolutely worth the watch, and lower your expectations, in my opinion. And this is where my like weird, what's the word? Pretentious art man facade like goes away a little bit. It's good to enjoy something that's so bad it's entertaining sometimes, because it's really fun to look at what works and what doesn't, and then try to figure out how you can like pick apart. I've loved the idea of rewriting The Room into an actual Oscar award-winning script.
You know what? I think that's amazing. You know what I think? Here, let me add to that. Here's what I think. I think when it comes to like good and bad on a movie scale is like you may have where's the camera? So you may have something like, oh, here, you do it. Okay. So it's like a spectrum, right? So good to bad. But like I think that there's times where as you're moving towards bad, you can pass it and come back to good. And I think
it's like a circle.
There's some movies that do that, and I think this is one of those that, like, even in The Disaster Artist, when I watched it towards the end, everybody's laughing. Then you realize, like, okay, what's his goal, right? Maybe it's to be a good actor. Maybe it's to be in a movie, or maybe he just wanted people to. He wanted attention from people in the same way movie actors. If that was his goal, he got it. I think that the goal was started to realize that, like, hey, he kind of got what he wanted, not the way he wanted. So he kind of pivoted and was like, okay, well then I guess I'll take it. It's because he mentions, I've seen interviews in preparation for this podcast, him doing interviews saying like it was supposed to be a drama. But he kind of said, okay, well, it's kind of a comedic drama because you can have both. And I think he meant it to be very, very serious.
Dead serious.
Supposed to be dead serious. Dead serious. But he pivoted when he realized, okay, well, people just find it funny. So then we'll just call it a comedic dramedy. Or
a black comedy.
Yeah. A drama, a comedic drama.
Yes. Yeah. Which brings us to The Disaster Artist, the thing that we're actually talking about today, which is... So, as I said, I know more about the making of this movie than I do the actual movie itself, even though I've seen the movie so many times. And The Disaster Artist, actually, like Tommy Wiseau says himself, it's like 99.999% correct.
Yes.
Accurate to how it is. That's not actually true. There are a lot of things that they embellished on for fun. But
let's start with like who's the one who made this movie? Who's the director and producer of this?
So this is actually the movie script is an adaptation of the book The Disaster Artist, which was made by Greg Sestero. It was written by Greg Sestero, the guy who plays Johnny's best friend in the movie Mark. His real name is Greg Sestero. He's the one that oh God, I can't ever remember their names. The Disaster Artist, Dave Franco. Dave Franco played Greg, and it was adapted from that book, talking about the whole like how the movie got made, and James Franco, because who else would it have been besides James Franco and Seth Rogen?
Yes,
would have been like, I'm going to make a movie about the making of this movie.
Yeah, so if you know anything about Seth Rogen's movies, then you can kind of understand where this is coming from. I think because Seth Rogen, I think he's great. I do too. I think his movies are good.
And he played Sandy very well in this movie.
Yes.
Sandy
because I think that's just him being himself, which is the easiest thing you can do, I think, in acting. I think he's there's no. Oh yeah, no. He didn't really have to. He didn't have to stretch his range for this role.
Yeah, Sandy. There was the cast is also studded with a bunch of different stars like
Comedic-
Josh Hutcherson being Denny.
Here's the thing, there's a lot of comedic actors, and even I know
Yes.
some of those people that you just see in like funny commercials on TV.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of those people who either have such small roles in comedic TV shows or they're just in commercials, and they always play that straight line, funny type person.
Yeah.
But it's what's crazy about it is they're doing a serious role, which again, just like real
Yeah.
life, is funny, but not intentionally. And they have all these comedic actors playing these parts.
I'm looking at all
So
of it right
it's-
now.
yeah,
Tommy
there's so many
Wiseau
of
was
them.
also in the movie. He was at the very end. He did not play himself. He played Henry. But we got like Hannibal Buress,
Yeah.
Peter Gilroy, one of my personal favorites, Nathan Fielder from Nathan For You. You're pointing at one.
Jason,
Jason. Oh yeah, Jason Mantzoukas.
I think I remember him from Parks and Rec. He was the Cologne guy.
Yes.
Very funny. So
We even
he's a
have-
comedic actor.
We even have Allison Brie,
Yes.
Zac Efron, which was one of my personal favorites, playing Chris R.
Hey, full-time movie fans, thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you had a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We want to hang out and discuss the movie with you. So don't forget to do that below. Have a good one. I hope your day is everything you dreamed it'd be and more.